Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Today I'm going to introduce you the world of observability, not monitoring at all. So we all understand what is monitoring. I'm not getting into the of it. So using monitoring, we see the system is reliable or not, right? System is reliable or not. We get the incident um, throughout our check, which we monitor. And once we get the incident, okay, then we do the post-mortem and fix the issues. Something we do that all the time. So here, if you look at the pyramid of it, monitoring is the bottom of your software. So you have a monitoring in place, then incident response you do, then we do the post-mortem or root cause analysis. After that, we again follow the typical SDLC cycle, testing and release procedures, then capacity planning we do, then development and product. So this is called monitoring we've been doing. I think many of you have done it. Some of you have joined with the no experience, but mostly I think you guys have working with world of monitoring. Now, which monitoring all of you have worked with? Performance monitoring, APM, performance monitoring. But I'm not only talking about this performance monitoring. I'm not only talking about the monitoring also. I'm talking about something else. So monitoring is dead. Monitoring is dead. So nowadays when we talk about observability, how to set observability, and any tools which you hear, for example, Datadog, the one which we are having talking about, next family which you hear is New Relic, and the third one, which is major one, is coming into this space is Splunk. They are talking about observability, long live observability. So now you should not say I'm monitoring the infrastructure. You should say I'm setting up the observability for the systems and applications. So what is observability? Monitoring tells you whether a system is working or not. Simple. System is working or not. Whereas observability lets you ask why isn't working. There's a difference. Again, observability means assembling all fragments from logs and monitoring tool and organize them in a such a way which gives you actionable knowledge of the whole environment, thus creating an insight. Here, when we are talking about the observability, means assembling all fragments, and the fragments which may have different logs, APM monitoring tools, and many things. So observability is a superset of monitoring. It provides not only high level overviews of the system health, but also highly granular insight into the implicit failure modes of the system. Okay. If you want to know how this your system is inner working, unlocking the ability to uncover the deeper and systematic systemic issues, whatever you have. So basically observability, if you are trying to set, you get to end feedback about the system, whereas monitoring was best suited to report only the overall health of the system and getting a alert for it. So if you see in terms of graphs, see here, monitoring versus observability. So monitoring, you monitor something, get alerts and overview, whereas through observability, you debug also. You create a profiling also, you map the dependencies also, and on top of it, you anticipate the future also. So monitoring is a proactive actions. Observability is a reactive actions. You take the things beforehand only based on the trends and stuff like that. Anticipate. So this is the difference between monitoring and observability. And that's the reason we say monitoring is dead. Now we are setting up the observability, reactive setup we want to set up. So if you put all the just if you put all the permutation of full and partial failures as part of the observability, we test the best testing, best effort verification of correctness, and best effort simulation of the failure mode, which you can, many people say synthetics also, and monitoring predictable failures. Together is called observability. So yeah, in short, observability is a property of the system and monitoring is an activity we perform on the system. Monitoring system should address two questions: what's broken and why? While observability covers the larger scope, monitoring is mainly used in the terms of metrics monitoring only. Now if you see here, this is the hierarchies of observability, everything coming together up from the slower to the faster. Faster means you're talking about the performance management. The slower, it can be a logs and stuff like that. So see here, if you want to know, think, if you want to know anything which has been done in the past, so from where you get it? You get it from the logs, and then you will get it from the traces. I think APM, the one which you are talking about, App Dynamics traces, which has happened in the past. The traces, you get the results that has happened already. The request, response time, transactions, and multiple traces, all this thing has happened. So you got in the App Dynamics. So that is in past. So you want to diagnose that. But something you want of the present also. Present, such as matrices of your system. When I say matrices of the system, like I want to know my current CPU. I want to know my current RAM. I want to know my current network or input and output. I want to know present matrix, not the one which has happened. And for that, you get it on dashboard, alerting, incident response, and all. But we have to set up a predictions also, signals and states to detect and make the system observable. So all these things together, if you want to set up a observability, you have to focus on everything: past, present, and prediction. Everything. This is called observability. So monitoring is a subset, observability is a superset of monitoring. Okay. So we are here for setting up the observability. I hope it is clear for all of us. But the question is, okay, fine. We want to set up observability, but how? We don't want only to set up a monitoring, but observability, but how? So there is one keyword which is floating in the world of monitoring, and that is called telemetry. Okay, so what is a telemetry stands for? So basically telemetry is one of the word derived from the Greek root, and the definition we have two things. Tele means remote and metron means measure. Measure the data which is coming from the remote. Measure the data which is coming from the remote. That's become a telemetry. So in short, telemetry is a collections of measurement or the other data that is generated at the remote, and we receive it through automated transmission for our work of setting up the monitoring or observability. So this is a very popular keyword in the world of monitoring. We have telemetry. But if you break down the telemetry into the different types of database, okay, different types of database, then there are four types. In short, we call it MELT. Okay, MELT. M for matrices, E for events, L for logs, T for traces. Metrics, events, logs, traces. In short, you can call it MELT. So MELT is a types of data under the telemetry. But the question was how to set up observability. So basically, you have to monitor everything for the past, present, and future. You have to get the matrices through the telemetry system. You have to get the traces. I think many of you have worked with the traces already, right? APM is a trace monitoring. And then you need to work with the loggings also, correct? So if you want to set up observability, you have to do end to end, including event, which is a part of the event, which is a part of the logs. So guys, how to achieve observability? So are you having a system in place which can receive traces, and top of that you can see the dashboard alerting this, that, and all? Are you having a system in place where you can get the matrices and logs? So traces, which is nothing but, look at this here, traces which is nothing but a relationship between event, the one you, let's say I click on the google.com, so it generated one event, then google.com redirected to the login page, then login page to the dashboard to this, that. So that is all traces on every systems. I did it, and that's become one transaction which you want to monitor through APM. Traces relationship between event, how much time you spent between this transaction, how much time you spent from the overall transaction. So you want to see that. So what is a trace? Trace is a relationship between event. Example, applications component involved during a request with an error. Matrices, where is a measurement of an event. Matrices is a measurement of an event. Okay, so here example is throughput, error rate, request durations, and logs. Human readable events such as system startup, output, processes, applications, logs, and all. So if you want to achieve the observability, you have to take care of everything. In short, everything at one place, you should be having it. So observability means logging, monitoring, tracing, and visualization, which you saw graphs, dashboards, and stuff like that. So we are trying to set up observability as part of this session. Okay. So these are the data types. These are the types of data that systems should produce to be observable. Because we know that we need all this kind of data. So systems should produce this kind of data, such as HTTP, health check, Health check of what? Whether you are alive or not. System should produce, typically this health check, we call it, what? Synthetic. System should produce the matrices also, and matrices which can be done at the regular interval in the time series. Now you had questions like the matrices which you get it at the regular interval into the time series, that should be pull based or push based. So we'll come back to that. And log entries, system produce logs, a lot of logs. We need to observe the data, and on same time distributed request or end-to-end tracing you want, so you can get the response time. Why do we need a response time? So you want to know the whether system is giving the customer experience as per the expectations or not, right? So these are the four kind of data types of data should be generated by system, so you can set up the observability. Out of which, what is a metrics we have discussed. Okay, some of the metrics type, if you see here, look at this. These are the metrics which you can get it from the system. There are two important categories of metrics: work metrics and resource metrics. So as part of the work metrics, you get the throughput, success, error rate, success rate, and performance, which is performance for applications, how much error you have, how much total success transaction has come, what is the throughput, mean request per minute, whatever it is, or average load per minute, or something like that. And resource metrics, utilization. Utilization means CPU utilization, RAM utilization, network utilization, saturation, errors and availability, and events also, code changes, alerts, scaling events, and all. So these are the metrics: work metrics, throughput, success rate, errors, and performance, which we discussed. These are the example of work metrics. Okay, throughput, which will tell you the request per second. Please understand this. You will get the throughput on APM website also, request per minute, I guess. In that dashboard, you'll get it. Success, and what is the error percentage, and what is the percentile, I mean performance. So are you getting in App Dynamics 50 percentile, 95th percentile, 99 percentile, all these things, average percentile? Are you getting those matrices? Those who have worked with App Dynamics? Guys, are you there?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So those are the example of work metrics you need to know. Okay. And so on. Resource metrics. When we say resource metrics, then we get a utilization, saturation, error, and availability. Let's look at this. Here, utilization for the disk, which will tell you the percentage time of device was busy. But in terms of saturation, wait queue length, in terms of errors, number of device errors, and availability, number of percentage of the time writable. In terms of memory, same utilization, percentage of total memory capacity in use, swap uses, saturation, errors, availability, microservices and database. You see here microservices utilization you want to know, then you need to know average percentage time each request serving thread was busy. If you want to know saturation, number of inquit request. If you want to know errors, number of internal errors such as caught exceptions in the coding, or availability, percentage of the time series is reachable. Okay, so resources here, database. If you want to know the utilization, average percentage time each connection was busy, saturation, inquired search, errors, internal errors, and availability percentage time database is reachable. So these are the matrices you want to get it from the system. So you can create a observability. Events, yeah. So events which system generate at a certain occurrence. Okay. Changes, alerts, scaling events, and many things which you need to capture. Some of the events you can see here, what happened at what time and what it contains, all this stuff. So system events, you might be it might be good example for it. So we have discussed so far what is monitoring, what is observability, and we understand the what we do, what we need to do as part of the setting up the observability. You need to take care of the logs, traces, events, and matrices. And there are again different types of matrices we have learned. But the question is why it is very hard to set up the observability. Why? Look at this, how we are evolving. Why this is very hard to get those types of data from the system. So if you look at this, earlier we were running the application in a, let's say, physical machines. Then we started running application in virtual machines, correct? Private virtual machines. Then we started running a application in the cloud. Again, virtual machines itself, but in cloud. But nowadays we are running application in a container. So now you need to see that with this evolution, you need to manage the host machine, which is a physical machine. You need to manage means you need to monitor. You need to set up the observability for it. Four things together you want to set up for the physical machines also. You want to monitor for the virtual machines also, and you want to monitor for the containers also. Now physical machine, you have a certain applications running. You want to make it you want to get the new availability, reliability, logs and all everything. Inside the virtual machines also there's certain application which is running, and inside a container also you're running. But this is not the end of it. This is how evolving. So and software architecture also has changed. It got evolved. See here, earlier we had a monolithic software architecture. That means everything together, such as your MS Office in your laptop, MS Office in your laptop. But after that, because of the internet has come, we got the service oriented architecture. Service oriented architecture means we'll have a web server, and then we'll have app server, and then we'll have a database. That was okay. But with the DevOps has come, now we want to make this large services to the smaller services, and each services we call it a microservices, smaller services we call it microservices. And for each one of these microservices will have a database, and this each services will run in a multiple machines also, multiple container or multiple virtual machines. So this is the change in the software architecture also. Again, this is a SOA example. Here you see services, database and all stuff like that. Again, this is a microservices architecture. So look at this, what you have to monitor. Look at this. Web client devices, IoT devices at the client end, front end, mobile client, API gateway, different microservices, different database, queue, database layer, data access layer, business logic layer, API gateway layer, user interface layer. Just imagine what you have to monitor. I mean, you have to set up observability. Look at this. Too many microservices talking to too many things. Now you have to find out the APM, I mean, traces for it. One request from the I perform and I did some let's say Flipkart, some sales is going on, right? So I browse the flipkart.com, login, dashboard, searches, carting the product, billing, this, that, you know, throughout this whole transaction, how many microservices you have used it? Do you have any realization for it? Now you want to find out the response time taken for the each transaction, and between for the each transaction which is converted into the multiple traces. And then you want to find out between which operation there is a error, like let's say that request or response time is more than expected, and then trace it. Then you troubleshoot and debug. So too many microservices. So now setting up the observability is challenging. Setting up the observability is challenging. But we will use tools like a Datadog, which will help us to set up the observability. So guys, any questions so far? Any questions so far?
No, Rajesh, it's really good knowledge. I mean, the way you have shown, right? I mean, how we are moving ahead from monitoring to observability, and it is like combination of what all you said, right? So that's really great. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that in background, guys, let's experience the Datadog. So what is Datadog? What is Datadog? So Datadog is a monitoring service. Is a service. You cannot say tool. Yeah, it's not a tool. You cannot install in your laptop or your within a premises. It's a service which is available at the cloud. Yeah, it is a service available at the cloud and providing a monitoring of servers. Your servers, the one they are monitoring from the cloud, your server, your databases, your tools, your services through a SaaS based data analytics platform, software as a service based data analytics platform. So they have a very rich cloud infrastructure monitoring services in place with a dashboard, alerting and visualization for the different kind of matrices, logs and traces and all. By the way, Datadog was listed in Forbes Cloud 100 and was ranked in the top 10 fastest growing company in the North America as per the Deloitte 2016 Fast 500 list. Datadog was founded in 2010 by Olivier and Alexis. So why Datadog? Why do we need it? Simple thing.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.